In Rational Emotive Behavior Therapy, REBT, we teach something called unconditional self-acceptance. It's a powerful idea, but many thoughtful people, including therapists, worry about something important. If we accept ourselves unconditionally, does that risk minimizing moral responsibility? Does it dull our conscience? Does it blur the line between healthy remorse versus toxic guilt? Those are not trivial concerns. In this video, I want to explore how we can hold on to moral seriousness, even the horror of certain actions, while still embracing the core insights of REBT. Some actions are horrific: abuse, cruelty, betrayal, violence. If therapy sounds like it is flattening those realities or softening their gravity, then something has gone wrong. So let's be clear from the beginning. Unconditional self-acceptance does not mean what I did wasn't that bad. It does not mean there is no such thing as evil. And it certainly does not mean actions don't matter. Actions matter deeply. In REBT, unconditional self-acceptance means this: my worth as a human being is not reducible to my worst act, but my actions still remain morally significant. That distinction is crucial. We can say, that was wrong. I regret what I did. I must repair what I can, without saying, I am worthless. I am beyond redemption. My entire being is garbage. That second move, global self-condemnation, is what REBT challenges. Not conscience, not responsibility, not moral seriousness. This is where the distinction between healthy remorse versus toxic guilt becomes important. Healthy remorse says, I did wrong, and I want to make it right. Toxic guilt says, I am wrong, and there is nothing left to repair. Healthy remorse motivates responsibility. Toxic guilt paralyzes it. And sometimes it hardens into defensiveness. When people collapse into global self-condemnation, they often either withdraw into despair or they defend themselves aggressively. Neither response repairs harm. Unconditional self-acceptance removes self-annihilation so that responsibility becomes possible. It is not emotional anesthesia. It is emotional containment. Emotional regulation alone is not the ultimate goal of therapy. Psychopaths regulate emotion very well. Calmness, by itself, is not virtue. The aim of therapy is integration, conscience, responsibility, meaning, repair, growth. Unconditional self-acceptance supports that integration. It does not replace it. We are not isolated individuals floating in space. We are born into community. We are shaped by relationship. We are sustained by connection. So unconditional self-acceptance is not a cold, individualistic slogan. It is a stabilizing stance that allows us to remain accountable without collapsing. And it allows us to face the horror of certain actions honestly, without dissolving into self-hatred. Therapy must preserve two things at the same time: moral clarity, human dignity. If we lose either one, we lose something essential. We must never reduce terrible acts to mere cognitive distortions. And we must never reduce a human being to a single terrible act. Both reductions are dehumanizing. Unconditional self-acceptance protects against one form of dehumanization. Moral responsibility protects against the other. When held together, they allow us to say, that act was wrong, and you are more than that act. That is not softness. It is proportion. In Rational Emotive Behavior Therapy, unconditional self-acceptance was never meant to deny evil. It was meant to prevent total self-condemnation from blocking growth. We can preserve conscience. We can preserve moral seriousness. And we can still refuse to collapse a human being into their worst moment. Therapy, at its best, does not flatten moral reality. It helps us live within it with clarity, dignity, and responsibility. Thanks for listening. Please consider liking and sharing your thoughts.